Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the first video for our elementary logic course. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you how to access the OLI free logic content for our course. So if you take a look here, you should have something that looks like this when you log into your dashboard, and that will show you the various classes that you're currently enrolled in. And so you want to follow the link, obviously, to our elementary logic class. I'm going to jump up to a different tab here because we are already logged in there, and you will be able to see hopefully what your own screen will look like because there I'm logged in as a student. So as you take a look here, you'll notice that we have our syllabus, the Art of Reasoning textbook, and the ebook for connections and all that. But this is where we want to focus our attention today, the logic and proofs. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click this link, the sign up, and that will take you to this location. Now obviously you can also have this work as a pop-out window and do it over there, but you can also do it here. So what you want to do is you want to create a username and password. Make sure you remember what those are so that you can keep logging back in. Right, so once you fill that out, you tell it that you are not, in fact, a robot. You're not going to be seeing this thing here on the side, the logic and proof stuff. That's not for us. So once you are signed up, what you're going to do is you are going to, I think they send you an email, you have to confirm that you're you, right? And so make sure you click that. Then you come back here and then you click the add the e-course option, and that's going to take you here. So once you are here, make sure that you are logged in. You can do that separately, log in first, then follow the link. You are going to click on this option to enter the open and free course. Now you see the name here, it's Logic and Proofs. There are two versions of this course. One of them is free, the other one is $80. Now you don't need to buy the $80 version for this course, okay? Using the free one is going to be perfectly fine. If you want to, at the end of this, if you really like the Open Learning Initiative Logic and Proof course and you want to study more of it on your own, then by all means go ahead and buy yourself a copy. But as it is, we're just going to be using the free option. So once you click that, it's going to ask you to sign in, and let me use, I think this should work. Oh, whoops, I guess not. Let's do this. Alright, so once you're logged in here, you'll be able to see your courses. Now, we do not register for a course because we're using the free option. Your course, once you add it, is going to be right over here. In case it's not here, you can click the add open and free courses option. We'll let that load so you can see how to find that. Should be here. Let's find out. Yep, there it is. So Logic and Proofs, open and free. You click on that, and then you tell it to add that to your courses, right? Ta-da! So once you're there, you can run a system check to make sure that you can run the things that you are supposed to be able to run. If you click on that, it doesn't actually test your system, it just tells you what you should be using. If you're using Google Chrome, you should be fine. If you're using the latest version of Safari, you should be fine. So after that, you click on Visit Course, and here we go. So we are going to be working our way through a couple of these things. I think we're going up to chapter 5 or 6, can't remember right now. Either way, what you're going to do is, for each of these, you are going to go into the chapter, and you'll see, like right here, they'll tell you what it is that your learning objectives are. They'll give you the layout of things, and it's by page number. And then down here at the bottom, you can see the little arrow and the page number. So you click next to go to the next thing you read your way through these things. Anytime you see like this green kind of text, that's going to be a term that you should pay attention to. Maybe write it down so that you don't lose track of what's going on. So as you work your way through this, they're going to have a couple of videos, and then you can go ahead and watch that. In fact, I would highly recommend that you watch that, because they walk you through a number of very interesting examples. They'll give you a bunch of things like this. Alright, and then you get, every once in a while, you'll get these did I get this sections. So for these, as you answer the question, right here I answered it incorrectly, and it tells you why you did the thing wrong, right? So the point here isn't for you to get the answers right on the first hit. It's really to understand why it is that answers are what they are. So don't worry about getting these wrong. You always have the chance of going back and changing the answer. Right, you'll see you have a couple of pages. In this case, you have 5 pages of these questions, and you can work your way through that. You can always also reset the activity if you feel like doing it again for review. Here's more explanation. Here's another did I get this section. I'm just jumping through this quickly. There's also this learn by doing. It's a blue setup. It's a little bit different than the green stuff, but it's more of the same. And for the most part, at least in this like initial chapter, what you are going to be doing is just going to be sort of working with these statements like this. You don't really have to deal with lab stuff. Now let's see if we can actually get some lab stuff, so you can see what that looks like, because it's kind of useful. Right here, so they have a number of different options for answering the questions, and did I get it? Let's get to the bottom here so that we can get to. By the way, don't let these sorts of things throw you off. I realize that they can look a little intimidating if you're not used to it, but you will get used to it. It's actually pretty straightforward. More videos. You get some pretty cool stuff there. All right, Logic Lab. So what they're going to be doing here is that they're going to give you a whole video on how things work and all the rest of that. For our purposes, when you run into the Logic Lab problems, you click here to open the problem. That opens up a new tab. The whole thing loads. Okay, and then you'll be able to see all the different problems that you have, and then you tell it to go ahead and launch the problem. Like in this case, we're going to open up this thing. Again, don't worry about knowing these things or not knowing them. Right, so this is sort of what it looks like. Now we're using the Logic Lab because, as weird as some of these things might look to you, it is infinitely easier than trying to do this on paper, right? Normally the way that we end up doing these sorts of things is you grab a piece of paper, you write down the problem over here, and then sort of pen and paper, you got to work your way through and try to figure out everything. And if you get something wrong, then there's a whole complaint. Like I tell you that it's wrong, but then you don't know what exactly you did wrong and where, and which part of this massive problem you might have gotten wrong. Now the cool thing here is that if I do something that doesn't work, right, it will tell me what went wrong, right? So that's the benefit of the Logic Lab. We have we're doing tests, and I believe we call them. Do we call them quizzes? Let me double check this thing. I'm just going to slide down to the bottom here. All right, yeah. So you're going to have homework, and for homework, there's going to be an explanation if it's not already there. Alright, let me hop to over here. Alright, so the practice problems is what is the homework for the chapter. The practice lab problem is the quiz. Right? It's just practice lab problems are just a little bit more difficult. You're essentially doing all the things at roughly the same time anyway, so you do one thing, then you have a couple of days, and then you do the other thing, and that way you hopefully are able to cover everything. We are going to, I'm going to walk you through exactly how this works step by step and what the layout is, and show you where each set of homework problems is as opposed to quizzes, and what the difference is and how you submit those different things somewhere down the line. Before we get to this, because we are not getting to the logic and proofs until week 7 right here. If you take a look at our course schedule, we're using our textbook for the first 5 chapters of the course, and then we have our spring break, and then when we come back from the spring break, then we are going to do the chapters 2 through 6 of the Open Learning Initiative Logic and Proofs. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. If you don't, then don't. If you are taking this for a school other than Hillsborough Community College, obviously do consult our syllabus for that, so that you can see what the schedule there is and when things are due there. And obviously, if we're using the officially paid version of the Open Learning Initiative course, then the homework as opposed to quizzes is going to be set up a little differently, but we can talk about that in those specific classes. Alright, that's it for today. Take care.